My name is Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I wanted to look at the Vedic astrology chart for Henry Kissinger, who just passed away. May he rest in peace. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Gemini rising at 0 degrees. First, we're going to look at how the planets are operating in his chart and contributed to his successes and health issues. And then we'll see when they're operating and during certain events in his life. And then we'll see what could be done to strengthen the chart. So first off, we have Sun ruling the house of success, placed in a challenging Dusthana house, the 12th house. So it becomes weak. It is aspected by Mercury. And so his success comes through the 12th house, which has to do with foreign lands, and his Sun, which is leadership abilities, and that influence of Mercury, which is his communication skills. Now, Sun becomes the prime indicator for health in his chart. So he does, Sun is an indicator for health, heart issues. So he did have heart issues. Then we have Moon, which is ruling the house of wealth, fame, and stability in marriage, placed in the house of family and happiness. And it is in old age. Any planet that's more than 25 degrees has said to be in old age and cannot protect or promote its own significations. So Moon is giving wealth and fame through his advisory skills for other people, his diplomatic skills, and Moon is also an indicator for heart. So heart issues there on 2 counts. Then we have weak infant Mars. Mars is ruling the house of income and fulfillment of desires. It is placed in the house of family and happiness. And it is just slightly, it's placed in the first house of life purpose and personality. And so it gives him a lot of drive and ambition to be successful. Mars also has to do with conflict and war, so he's definitely an advisor for those. And this is where his income and fulfillment of his life goals comes from. Now, Mars is, because it's just slightly weak, can have some inflammation in the body. Then we have weak placement, combust Mercury, also placed in the 12th house, which is a challenging house. And this gives him great communication skills, but they can also be controversial with regard to his views on diplomacy. Then we have strong Jupiter, which is aspected by Venus, and Jupiter is ruling the house of marriage and partnerships and alliances, and it is sitting in the house of creativity. So it is through his alliances that he's able to, and partnerships, he's able to educate other people. 5th house has to do with education and mental abilities. He is a Mensa, a very high IQ. And Jupiter also has to do with writing and publishing, which he did many books on government and diplomacy. And then we have Venus, which is slightly weak because its landlord, Mars, is also weak. And it is ruling that house of 5th house of creativity and mental abilities, gives him great mental abilities, sitting in the house of income. So income is again tied to his creativity and mental abilities. And Venus is the planet of peace. So he was all about trying to end wars and create peaceful alliances. Then we have Saturn, which is ruling the 9th house of good fortune and governments and belief systems, sitting in the house of happiness and family. And it is slightly weak because its dispositor, Mercury, is weak because of its placement in the 12th house. And so it gives good fortune through his diplomatic skills and his government service. Saturn is the planet of service. Then we have challenging functional malefic Rahu and Ketu. They're fairly benign in the chart. They're balancing his Rahu sitting in the house of success, Ketu sitting in the house of good fortune and government. So it's balancing his insights into government with his desire for success, balancing spiritual and material success. Let's look at the timing of events. So he came to the U.S., immigrated to the U.S. in 1938 during a Rahu and Ketu period. Rahu and Ketu are the destiny nodes of the moon. They bring big change in your life. Then he wrote his first book in 1957 during a moon period. Moon is ruling, again, this house of wealth and fame. So giving wealth and fame through writing that book. Then in 1973, he got a Nobel Peace Prize for, he was the Secretary of State and helped negotiate peace in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, during a Saturn moon period. Again, Saturn diplomacy, moon is advising. Then we have in 1977, he got married during a Jupiter period. Jupiter is ruling the house of marriage. And in 1982, he had a bypass surgery during a Mercury period. Mercury is sitting in the house of surgery. Then he wrote a book in 1982, another book in 1994. These are during Ketu and Saturn periods. So Ketu giving insights into writing about government and diplomacy, and Saturn writing about also government and diplomacy. And then his mom passed away in 1998 during a moon period. Moon has to do with mother. In 2000, he had a heart attack during a Ketu Rahu period. Ketu and Rahu can cause these sudden catastrophic events in someone's life. 2005, he had angioplasty during a Venus period. Venus is the healing planet. And then in 2014, he had heart surgery during a Rahu period. Rahu bringing, again, these dramatic events. 2023, he passed away November 29th. If you look at the circular chart on the left, you see this is the transit chart. The inner circle is where the planets were when he was born, and the outer circle is where the planets were when he passed away. You could see that Rahu and Ketu transiting are at the most effective point, or the rising sign degree. That means they are, because it's so close to almost at 0 degrees, they're afflicting all of his houses, especially the house of the 12th house of end of life. What could be done to strengthen the chart? Well, transforming Rahu and Ketu through chants and charities. He's already doing a lot of service work for Rahu and then giving to spiritual organizations. He's already doing those things. The rest of the planets can be strengthened, the weak planets, with my favorite remedy, which is a kavash, a silver locket containing the Devata yantras for his weak planets. And if you'd like to order a kavash or get a reading or learn Vedic astrology, you can go to www.vastucreations.com. Thank you so much for listening.